G'day everyone, Ozart here. You are joining me in the development of Stage 2 of my new game, Mr. Dong's Collector. On the previous video, we made the new Commie Chinese sprite and gave it a very basic avoidance and collision code. We'll have updated the sprite more befitting the artistic genius already in progress. We need to disable the image angle rotating to face the player object. I actually realized after posting the last video that we have some redundant code. The Commie has both a distance detection for Mr. Dong's Collector and a collision circle set to any child of the collision object, which conveniently includes Mr. Dong Collector. Does that make sense to you? This character needs to be a bit bigger. I'm setting the image scale to be 1.4 times bigger if our player exists. It's too big, so I will settle for 1.2 times.
Nanjing 37. What happened then? 300,000. Could it happen again? The river ran red with Chinese blood. Severed heads and bodies thud against the rocks under smoky skies. We begged for mercy from empty eyes.
I like to test out all of the variables in timing, etc., disabling lines of code to try and understand what's affecting what. Sometimes you can come across happy accidents, but this code is problems. I'm sure it's the yo-yo collision code, so I'm going to change that. I found this code from Pavatan, that is his real name, Pat Van Mac. He was making a game and it broke his brain. Now he's a shell of his former self, but we can use his code. This code is based on creating a variable destination, assigning the Commie's X and Y position to the behavior of that variable. Every 2 seconds it creates a randomly sized square box area it can look into, make sure the destination box is within the bounds of that room, and then checks if there's any possible collisions there, and if not, move to that space. It uses a yo-yo specific command that comes with a warning that it may not always work, which sounds like the perfect code for our game. It's called MP Potential Step Object, and if you put it in the destination for X and Y, the speed to move there and what object to avoid by stepping around it. I've set it to avoid our collision parent, and thus all its children. Getting some collision issues with the player object collision detection. But if we disable that, it doesn't interact with us. I have to place the player detection in new code. It seems to work. I'm going to change some things to make the code a little neater. We can also use a simple clamp code that will place a chunk of code. Let's change the time check. If irandom room speed times 2 equals 1, it doesn't actually do a check every 2 seconds. So let's just put a number in there for it to check every frame. Finally, a minor change to the collision circle. I want to play with the circle radius, so let's just put a number in there instead of a calculation based on sprite width. I don't like my program to be doing too many calculations. Most of the design work is based around getting the correct sprite look and movement. I spent 2 days perfecting Mr. Dong's collector's penis sword animation. For this, I just want them to be shuffling their feet out of the way.
Nanjing 37, what happened then? 300,000, could it happen again? They came by boat, they came by plane, dropping bombs without aim, with lust for death and innocent flesh, unsatisfied with mere success.
All commies look the same. We can just change their shirt color to liven things up.
Nanjing 37, what happened then? 300,000, could it happen again? The river ran red with Chinese blood, severed heads and bodies thud. Against the rocks under smoky skies, we begged for mercy from empty eyes.
This works great, yay for us. I hope you like the new Commie design.
Let's play Mr. Dong's Collector. How many dongs can you find? I bet you can find all of the dongs. I have faith in you. There is a much adventure.
Help Mr. Dongs find priceless phallic objects of antiquity, starting with the jungles of Peru. Stage 1 is fully complete and ready for purchase. With over 23 levels of adventure. Buy the game and it is yours forever.
Why are you not buying and playing it now?